High school doesn't break people because it's hard. It breaks people because everything is being watched. Who you sit with, who texts first, who gets left on read, who suddenly stops getting invited. And the scariest part? Nobody ever explains the rules. Welcome to Dark Mind Academy. This is where psychological advantages aren't taught, they're exposed. And today, you're going to see why most high school relationships fail before they even start. Let's start with something uncomfortable. In high school, relationships aren't about love. They're about position. That doesn't mean feelings aren't real. It means feelings operate inside a social system. Popularity, reputation, perception, social proof. Ignore those and emotion won't save you. Here's the pattern you've seen 100 times. Two people start talking. At first it's equal, same energy, same curiosity. Then one person starts caring more. They reply faster. They explain more. They ask, "Are you okay?" A little too often. They try to secure the connection. And the moment they do that, the balance shifts. Not because caring is bad, but because visibility of need destroys leverage. High school is brutal because it magnifies this instantly. There are no private dynamics. Everything leaks. Your friends notice. Their friends notice. Screenshots exist. Rumors move faster than truth. So when someone starts trying too hard, they don't look loyal. They look exposed, and exposure kills attraction. Now here's the lie everyone tells teens. Just be yourself. Communicate more. Show how you feel. That advice sounds kind, but in high school, it's incomplete. Because communication without position is submission. Let me explain. When someone feels unsure in a relationship, they usually do one thing. They try to clarify. What are we? Did I do something wrong? Why are you acting different? They think clarity will restore safety. But clarity doesn't raise status. It hands it away. The person being questioned now controls the pace, the tone, the outcome. They don't even have to answer. And that's where the power imbalance locks in. You've seen this play out. One person waits anxiously. The other replies whenever they feel like it. Not because they're cruel, but because the system rewarded them. High school relationships don't collapse loudly. They decay quietly, through small moments of overinvestment, through chasing reassurance, through trying to fix what didn't ask to be fixed. Now here's the part nobody tells you. The most respected students aren't always the nicest. They're not always the loudest. They're not even always the best looking. They're the ones who look socially complete without anyone. They have friends. They have routines. They have momentum. So when they enter a relationship, it looks optional, not necessary. That's why people orbit them. Not because they're heartless, but because they don't leak dependence. Contrast that with the student who reorganizes their entire life around one person, stops hanging out with friends, checks their phone constantly, defends them publicly no matter what, apologizes first, always. That doesn't read as devotion. It reads as instability. And instability is risky in a social environment. High school punishes risk. This is why breakups feel so devastating at that age. You're not just losing a person. You're losing status, routine, and identity all at once. That's also why rebounds, glow-ups, and sudden confidence shifts happen after breakups. People aren't healing. They're repositioning. Now let's talk about jealousy. Jealousy in high school isn't about love. It's about public replacement. Who sits next to them now? Who laughs at their jokes? Who appears in their stories? That's why jealousy spikes even when feelings are over. Because the mind isn't asking, do I miss them? It's asking, what does this say about me? High school relationships are mirrors. They reflect value back at you, or take it away. That's why some students stay in bad relationships longer than they should. Leaving feels like social freefall. And here's where the real psychological mistake happens. When teens sense they're losing position, they often try to lock the relationship down. More texting, more affection, more explanations, more promises. They think intensity will restore closeness. But intensity without balance feels like pressure, and pressure creates distance. This is the paradox. The harder you try to keep someone in high school, the more you teach them they can leave. Now, this is important. None of this means you should be cold, cruel, or manipulative. It means you must protect self-containment, a life that doesn't collapse without one person, a reputation that doesn't hinge on one relationship, an identity that stands on its own. That's the real advantage. Before we continue, this is where most people stop listening. So if this is already hitting uncomfortably close, follow Dark Mind Academy on TikTok and YouTube now. You're going to want what comes next. And comment this. High school really was a social game. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now let's flip the perspective. Why do some relationships actually survive high school? Not because the people are perfect, but because neither person tries to own the other. They move together, not around each other. They don't ask for permission to exist. They don't threaten leaving to gain control. They don't perform loyalty publicly for validation. Their connection is quiet, stable, low drama, and drama is currency in high school. If your relationship produces too much of it, it attracts attention, and attention invites interference. Friends give opinions, enemies stir rumors, observers take sides. Suddenly the relationship isn't between two people anymore. It's between an audience. That's when it usually ends.